Oh, yeah. Welcome back, guys, to yet another great conversation with your favorite DJ. I am DJ J Book, and this is Thursday, April the 7th. Man, the year is already rolling by. Oh my gosh. What's up, guys? What's happening? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Because I've got some great stuff to tell you. I've got a recap of last weekend. I've got some more good stuff to tell you. What's coming up this weekend, what I'm getting ready for and stuff now, and what equipment I will be using. So you know how we do it to kick off things. First of all, I want you guys to let me know how my levels and stuff are right now. Just let me know in the chat whether or not I'm good. Do I need to come up in volume? Anything here? I'm starting to get in the hang of this a little bit more. So it's not as challenging, especially as like doing the Airstream DMX bridge while I'm on the job. And we'll talk about that a little bit too, because I think I might have to make a change coming up. So if you guys are in the chat, please let me know what it sounds like, what it looks like. Is everything clear? Do I sound clear? Oh, okay. William Silva says that I am good. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Digital Media Morado, appreciate you stopping by, bro. All right, so let's do a recap of last week first. So last week, man, not gonna lie to you guys, I had a big malfunction last week, and I have a great DJ tip for you. Okay, so last week I had a prom, and the prom was at a venue that I've done multiple times. And this was the first time this year that I was bringing out my triangle trusting. So what I was going to do was I planned on doing pretty much a moving head and a Chave Wash FX light show. So basically I was going to put my 4 moving heads. I was going to put 2 of the Focus Spot 4Zs and 2 of the InnoSpot Pros on the triangle truss. And at the top, I was going to put 2 of the Wash FX to kind of just finish off the room. Everything looked like it was going to go well until I got down to one last couple of pieces. Now, if you guys know anything about connecting trusting, you know that in between 2 truss, you have to have that little connector. It's probably about, this big here. It's not too big, and it's got 2 holes on one side and 2 holes on the other side for you to drop your pins and everything through. Well, I forgot those. Long story short, I forgot those. I looked everywhere and all my stuff. I thought for sure that I had those. I definitely did not. So if you know anything about the, trusting and stuff like that, you can't hold up lights without these 2 pieces. And I needed 3 of them since it was a triangle truss. Most of you guys probably used a square truss and you need 4. But I needed 3 for this one. And so I had to really dig into my thoughts. And a big shout out to Helper Mike for coming up with a couple of solutions. But I wouldn't recommend what I'm about to tell you. So basically what I did was I took a steel clamp, and I clamped the 2 top pieces together, and I only had one of those left because the other ones had to go on the bottom of my moving heads. And then I took zip ties. I took some zip ties and and connected them through. Well, Helper Mike told me about that. And it seemed to hold well, especially the top. It seemed to hold well. So now you know that I'm going to crank these lights and stuff up. Now, initially when I cranked everything up and everything was put on there, it looked great. It looked like it was going to just be fantastic. I had the haze machine going so I could get some nice beams and everything for this prom. I'm in the middle of my set. Okay, I'm in the middle of it. Everything is going great. All of a sudden, I hear wham. Tss. Oh, everybody just kind of, well, everybody that was in that area just kind of stopped and looked. And my focus spot 4Z was on the ground. And it pretty much was cracked in multiple places. Now, the actual head itself was not cracked. Nothing happened to the head on it, but the light itself, what had happened was the connections that go inside of on the bottom that you kind of turn to the right to tighten to hold, they weren't in there tight enough, and the wing nut that I had on the bottom while the head was spinning, it was making the whole unit spin, and it was pretty much unwinding it. And when it unwound it, it literally just came right off, fell. So I had to spend Saturday morning and Sunday evening and Monday evening and Tuesday evening trying to fix this thing, and I've got it back in the best shape that I possibly can, but it that thing just hurt my heart. I didn't finish the prom with that light. I finished with the other 3 lights and the 2 wash effects. Prom went over well, but let's talk about the music and stuff that happened in there. I'm sorry. Before I jump to the music, let me also say it was totally my fault that this came down like this. What I should have done was use the safety suspenders, or I think it's like kind of like these safety ropes or things that it comes with. It's almost like a twine, and you're supposed to connect that to the truss triangle to just in case something like that happens, so that if the light falls, it's got a safety net. Well, silly me, I forgot to put it on there. Hence the fact, pro tip, always use the safety straps that come with it. Most of your heavy duty lights like that are going to come with it. If you're hanging it upside down, use the safety straps. If you're putting it on a light stand, that's going to be right beside your setup. You don't have to worry about it and stuff as much, but you definitely want to use the safety straps if you're going to hang these things upside down. Now, I have another prom coming up towards the end of the month. You best believe that safety straps will be on everything. So that's my pro tip. Second thing, music. This crowd wanted a lot of, I know we talked about it last week and we talked about slides and all that stuff. Slides actually, went over well, as they usually do. But the other music that worked was, they wanted stuff like Little Baby and, well, actually, they just wanted a lot of Little Baby. They were doing the thing on the phone when they were holding the phone straight up in the air and asking for Little Baby. I mean, if I could play Little Baby all night, they would probably be happy. This was 300 kids, guys. I mean, these guys were all like right in front of me. It was the most packed I had ever seen at this venue, and I've been in this venue a lot. I've done a lot of weddings at this venue, and it was 300 kids, and I felt overwhelmed. I literally felt like there was somebody all the way around me, kind of like those boiler rooms on YouTube. That's what it kind of felt like. But we managed to knock it out and stuff. I only played a few Little Baby because I wanted to get a little bit. I think I played a little over 250 songs. I was just kind of going through them. I was just going through them, getting through the main parts, stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure that I hit everybody. Sorry about my congestion. I'm having some sinus issues because it's pollen season, guys. You have to excuse me for pollen season. Before I go into the next one, big shout out to DJ G5 for being in the building, DJ Jesse, Derek Rose, appreciate you guys, Digital Media, Murado, William Silva, appreciate you guys stopping through. Thank you guys for coming through yet another week. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. So then next Saturday, I'm sorry, the following day I had a wedding on Saturday. So Saturday's wedding went over a hell of a lot smoother. These guys were just ready to party, and it almost felt like we could never get to the party because there was so much happening, prior to that. We were trying to squeeze a lot of things into a little bit of time, and I think they only gave me about an hour and 45 minutes to really rock them. And trust you me, I used every bit of that 45 minutes, hour and 45 minutes, and man, we crushed it. It was a good one. Helper Mike helped out on that one too. It was fantastic. That gig went over well. She left me a 5-star review. I can't ask for any more than that, so really appreciate that. Okay, so before I go into what's coming up this week right here, you guys let me know what's going on in your areas. What are you guys up to? Do you have multiple gigs this weekend? Who has double duty this weekend? I know I do. These double duties are starting to wear and tear on me already. I mean, I'm not getting home sometimes until 1, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. It's kind of crazy because some of these places are far out. The one that I have tomorrow is actually pretty far out. It's about an hour away from my house, and it doesn't end until 11. Takedown will probably take me about 45 minutes to an hour to take down. That's 12. An hour to get home. That's 1 o'clock. So another late weekend. And then Saturday's event doesn't end until 10:30, 11 o'clock again, but it's downtown. And it's just a long weekend. It just happens that way. All right, so coming up this weekend here, 2 weddings, 2 totally different weddings. I mean, when I say opposite ends of the spectrum, complete opposites. Tomorrow's gig, tomorrow's wedding is going to be in a little town called Saluda. Like I said, it's about an hour away from me. And this is going to be a country / hip hop crowd, I think. Yes, her music is basically country and hip hop. For the most part, at the beginning and cocktail, it's country. It is strong country. My country catalog definitely increased after she let me know some music and stuff that she wanted. So it's definitely country. And then for the dancing portion, it's like a little bit of country, but then majority like 90s and 2000s hip hop, which is my wheelhouse. So they want to have a good time. Interesting fact, one of the teachers from last week's prom, it's actually her son who is getting married, and his fiance actually was at another wedding I did, so they both kind of referred me to each other. They both said, I got a DJ in mind, knew it was me. They both said it was me, and here I am. So I'm doing that one on Friday. The one on Saturday is a vendor referral. I got this from a coordinator. It is, I don't know what you would call stuff like All-American Rejects and stuff like that, what genre you would give them, but it's like Good Charlotte, All-American Rejects, Sum 41, Matchbox 20s, music like that. It's a lot of that. Even some of the hip hop is more on the Outkast Hey Ya side of hip hop, if you guys follow me there. So it's going to be interesting. This was not as long because I think it's from 7 till 10:30, and there's a lot of formalities and stuff we have to do in between, so I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to get to play, but Bride was very adamant about me playing the music that she had on the list. She wants me to do about 80% of her requested list. So, pop rock alternative. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the type of music that she wants. So yeah, I got to play about 80% of that and some stuff is still rolling in. I haven't shut off the Vibo app for them yet to be able to stop making requests. But that's how that's going to set up. Now, as far as the equipment I'm going to use this weekend, 1 second. Sorry about that. As far as the equipment that I'm going to use this weekend, I'm not going to lie to you, because the first one is so far out, and the second one is pretty much the same thing. I mean, as far as the things that they got, they ordered from me, it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm just going to probably do the LD44 G2 system again, and just really keep it simplified. I'm also going to put, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that the last wedding I did, I tested out my Rockville light stands, and I put the Chauvet wash effects on top of those instead of the moving heads, and seemed to work out well. So I'm going to give those a whirl, that setup a whirl again this weekend. I'm going to use it for both setups. That way it just kind of keeps it simplified and nice and easy, so there's no craziness and stuff that goes on there. Really liking the setup. The Maui's are, the 44 G2s are just fantastic. Hard to go back to the QSCs, but I still love my QSCs, so I will be using them in upcoming gigs, just not this one this weekend. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's what I have going on. You guys let me know. I see a couple people telling me what they have going on here. Let's see. Digital Media Morado is doing a wedding. Sounds intimidating. It could be, but I'm going to learn from it, and it only increased my library whenever I looked at it and put it all together. So I'm going to make the most of it, and I'm going to try to rock them. I feel comfortable that I'm going to do a good job with them. William Silva. I got a brunch wedding Saturday. Oh, okay. How do you handle a daytime wedding and stuff like that when you don't really use lights? Like, how do you keep them dancing with no lighting? I mean, you're pretty much just music driven at one of those. Let's see. DJ Metro, what's good? DJ J Boog, I wanted to know how you went with HQ Sparks instead of both. I'm assuming you mean why did I go that route? I had, before I bought the HQ Sparks, I had used them on the final gig of 2021, and it was fairly simple, fairly easy to stuff to use. So when it was time for me to purchase my own, because I had rented those, when it was time for me to purchase my own, I just kind of read the reviews, and the reviews kind of led me to believe that, you know, you can have good success with these, and they were white. I'm not sure if both has the white versions of them. If they had the white, it probably would have been more of a no-brainer, but I like the white. For some reason, it just looks like it kind of goes with the setup a little more. So I like the white ones. Good question, though. Digital Media. I wonder if there was a way to put a bracket on the totems and still have the moving heads on top. I saw something. IDJ Now has this thing. By the way, I ordered those pieces that I didn't have for that prom. I ordered those. Those will be in this week, so we won't mess up next time. I saw IDJ Now has like this handle, and almost like you could pick it up like a bag, almost like a suitcase, and it fits in the 4 holes on top of like a global truss stand. And It looks like you can attach stuff to it, which I think is pretty cool. Kid Cupid 07, you got a wedding Saturday. Okay. Kid Cupid 07 book. What camera do you use to record your gigs? I thought it was a GoPro. Tried that and it stops recording every 8 minutes. Okay. So Kid Cupid, I do have a GoPro that I use. It's a GoPro Hero 6. But what I also use with it is an unlimited battery and not an unlimited battery. Let me stop before I get myself in trouble. I use an Anchor battery that usually lasts. It will usually last me, if I turn it on for 4 hours, it'll last me about 2.5 gigs. And it records a lot of footage. Now, I will say that the first gig of this year, I set it up, and I don't know what happened, but it just turned off on me. It only recorded like 8 seconds, and it was done. So I don't know what happened this past time, but in the past, it has worked great for me. DJ Metro. Looking to get some. Cool. I'm assuming you mean in Nicole Sparks. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. So yeah, with the setup and everything that I'm going to be using upcoming and stuff here, it's pretty. I'm trying to stay with some simplicity. I'm trying to make sure that because these 2 a week are a little bit rougher. I don't know how you guys do it, but 2 a week is already, it's tough in itself, because you've got to make sure you've got enough stuff for both events, and you got to make sure that you've got it all set up, and that you don't crisscross gigs, you don't get people's names mixed up, you got the right paperwork for this, that, and the other. Like, it's already nuts in itself. So adding a third one in there, which I almost did at the end of the month, that just makes it even crazier. I mean, I've had 4 in a week before, and I told myself I'll never do that again. I'll just have to turn it away. Nice. I have the GoPro 10 and it sucks. Any suggestions on your settings? I watched a couple of YouTube channels for people who set up stuff like time lapse, and they kind of gave me the tips and the settings. I mean, I just put it on video, put it on linear, and just kind of let it roll. I'm not gonna lie to you, there's really not a whole lot of secret to it. I made sure that I had a big enough SD card or a mini SD card to put in there, and I just roll with it. I think I use, it's overkill, but it's like 128 gig SD card that I put in there. I also put 128 one in my drone, which I'll be taking tomorrow. I need to make sure I pack that. I'll be taking the drone out tomorrow, just to kind of get some aerial shots for you guys. I'm getting a backlog of gig logs, so once some of this stuff slows down, I'll be able to crank out some gig logs and stuff for you. I've got some good ones too, man. That one last weekend, you guys are really going to enjoy. The first one too. I've got some great stuff on the way. William Silver, we'll find out. Oh, you meant we'll find out. Okay. I'm going to gig log it. Dope. All right. Before we get started in the questions and everything that you guys have, let me just do a quick housekeeping. You guys have been doing a great job of following the Twisted Transitions page. Make sure you do so. Make sure you go to Twisted Transitions. I have the link down in the description. You can go to and subscribe. Like I said, at the end of this month, beginning of May, I'm going to be switching this portion, or doing this hour-long conversation over to Twisted Transitions, and then I'm going to put clips and stuff from that over on this channel. So make sure you're following Twisted Transitions so that we can continue the lives. Also, I have a Twisted Transitions Instagram page set up. If you follow me on Instagram, I did advertise for that as well. You can go right to it. You can follow it and catch any updates, anything that I have there. I also will be trying to work in some guests and stuff here coming up. I just wanted to get a feel for this first before I start adding in people and bringing in and everything. I just wanted to get a few of these under my belt so I can make sure that I feel confident enough to be able to do this. I'm starting to feel a sense of comfort, so I think it's about time that we go ahead and start trying to expand a little bit and have some fun and stuff with this, because you guys seem to like it. You seem to like the content and everything that I'm putting out. So appreciate you guys, and we are going to go ahead and go into the question portion. I have talked enough about these gigs. Let's talk about the questions and stuff that you may have for the remainder of the time. So we'll start off with Jerome Grade. Do you do requests during your gigs? I'd like to ask that question back to you guys as well. Do you take requests? Now, here's my answer. I do take requests. I like to try to do stuff within the same realm of what I'm already trying to do. I don't like to take requests and then it changes the whole vibe, especially if I've got a packed dance floor. I may use that, if somebody says, oh, the bride wants this, oh, this is the groom's favorite song, stuff like that. I will take that into consideration and I will do it, but I'm not a no request guy, so I will take requests. Good question. Keep those questions coming through now. Derek Rose doing a birthday party Friday for a 55-year-old lady. Let me tell you something, Derek. Those are some of the great parties because you get to play some of the best music during those parties. Trust me, I think you'll have a good time. No matter what style of music it is, all that music during that time is all great music because you get to hit a lot of Motown. You get to, and it, you can hit a little bit of 90s, but more 80s. But Motown in the 80s, oh man, you can kill it. You can really kill it. Kid Cupid, appreciate you subscribing and stuff, man. I really appreciate that. You don't have to do that, but I really appreciate you doing that. That's awesome. Okay. DJ G5. Request now and text. I've heard of this app. I think Rick Webb just did something on this request now. And I can't imagine sitting there looking at my phone to see what requests and everything have come through on my phone to make sure I have it there. I know that keeps people from around you and stuff like that, but I don't know. I think that if I'm in a groove and I kind of have a feel for the crowd, I don't know if I say that taking requests through my phone and looking at my phone and stuff for the next song, I don't know. That's not my style a whole lot, so I haven't used that. I've heard about it. I heard good things about it. That may be your style. That's just something I haven't done. I don't know if I have any desire to do that. Jerome Grades. Oh, okay. Oh, Kid Cupid, appreciate you subscribing to the Twisted Transitions page, bro. That's awesome. Oh, DJ G5, thank you for saying something about a system. Okay, so this week I am happy to announce that the DJ that I've been telling you guys about is going to come out with me. He is going to be with me on my Saturday event. And if you follow me on Instagram, I will be posting stories and tag him and include him in it, and then we'll make sure we talk about how did it go and everything with him. What was his thoughts on it? I don't know. Maybe we can have him on the show. Maybe he will give us insight on what he thought. Being there live instead of just seeing everything through like a gig log or something like that I put up. So a new assistant and stuff coming through. He's going to assist me first, and then I'm going to go to one of his events and try to assist him once everything kind of slows down a little bit more, because it's a little crazy right now. All right, Reggie Marcus, Peace King. Which uplights are the brightest best? Rockville rock wedges, best par 50s or 3s, or both lighting 601s? Man, that's a very detailed answer that you want there. To be totally honest with you, I have seen those Rockville wedges, and they do a good job. Nothing wrong with them. I've never used the ones I saw were a 3-light system with the wedges. It only had 3 lights on it. I've never used those, but I have seen them, and I would say that they're okay. Now, the both lighting ones that I have, I would say they are pretty bright. They are pretty good, pretty bright. I just used them this past weekend, and they're amazing. I mean, they get the job done. They really knock it down. I used to use PARs. I used to use, oh gosh, what did I use? Like a Mega Tri-Par or something like that. I used to use those, and those work great, but I think they have just been replaced. You could probably get those PARs for cheaper and stuff now, because not a lot of people use PARs to be able to do it. But for the both lighting, I would say both lighting is really good. That it's not the standard, but it's an avenue, if that makes sense. So I would have to say both, the PARs and then the Rockvilles. Just the opposite way you asked, pretty much. All right, Digital Media Morado. I do requests, but some people want their requests played right away. I get that. Here's how I deal with that. I don't know. Like I said, this is not Bible. Okay, this is not Bible. What I'm telling you is what works for me. When somebody asks me for a request and I know it doesn't fit in there, all I tell them is, I got you. Just flat out, I got you. When they come back and stuff, I got you. And if I can find a seam or a lane to play that song in, I just put it on Serato. I just put it under the prepare and make sure I have it up there so that I don't forget it. And then I'll play it at an opportune time. Or if I say, we kind of ran out of time to be able to play it, most people understand. I have not had any kickbacks or anything like that. I haven't had anybody call me any kind of name or be pissed off, anything like that, doing it that route. But, just tell them I got you. Most people are intoxicated. That's why they keep coming up. It's really, that's the case. All right, Kid Cupid, I take requests, but if I'm outside of their BPM range, I tend to stay away from the track. I understand that. I was in 120 playing Shaka Khan. Dude asked me to play Babyface every time I closed my eyes, and he was on... You kind of left me with a cliffhanger there, but I understand. If you were playing something upbeat and then somebody wants a slow song, you just let them know that the next time you slow it down, you'll probably use their song. Simple as that. That's what I do, especially when somebody wants to kind of, are you going to play another slow song? Yeah, I'll play another slow song when I slow it down and stuff again. By the way, a lot of these brides and stuff, when I'm doing these Zoom calls, I'll ask, do you want slow songs played? Not gonna lie, the last 4 brides I've talked to say, yeah, you can play maybe 1 or 2, maybe 1 to open the dance floor and maybe 1 at the end, but that middle, we just want to go. And it's been like that for the first 4 brides, so we'll see if that continues this weekend, because they said the same thing, but we'll see. All right, Peripheral. Tuned in late. Seems like prom music is 90% throwbacks. How about yours? Throwbacks maybe to early 2000s. Yeah, I would agree. Throwbacks to maybe early 2000s. That looks like that was the right place for them. Like I said, the new stuff, it didn't go over well at all. I was hard pressed to get a verse out of it. It's like almost like I wish I would have just had something that just gave me the hook over and over and over. I'll probably have to, what I'll probably do for the upcoming one is I'll probably set my cue points to be able to do the hook and just, do 2 choruses and then probably get out of it. Because like I said, most kids seem disinterested. I mean, they really did. They really loved the light show, though. Being under those lights, I'll tell you, that caused some of them to dance. But I mean, that wave of people, 300 people right in front of me, it was weird. I didn't get the response on some of the stuff that I wanted, and some of the stuff that I didn't think would go over well was like a huge hit. So yeah, throwbacks, but throwbacks are early 2000s. All right, how do you feel, Derek Rose? If I can hit the button, how do you feel about 8 lab lights? Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like 8 labs. Again, another light that I've seen in person. I like 8 labs lights. And I value what they're trying to do. It is so expensive for those lights. It is so expensive for those lights. And I feel like they don't give you enough to warrant that price. You know, for the price of 8 labs, you could probably get 12 both lights, and they would do the same thing. I don't know. I'm trying to find value out of this. You know, I like 8 labs. I like what they have on there. I like what their whole system, their technology. I see some of the newer stuff that they're advertising for. It looks cool, but that price tag is almost like those pole ones, or what's the ones that everybody's starting to get now? The Xterra tubes or something like that. I mean, 4 of them for $5,000. Like, come on. The wash effects are $250 a piece. They do the same thing. Yeah, I know the Xterra tubes look cooler. Yeah, it takes up less space. I get all that. Of that. But just get you somebody to help you out, and it takes that away. You're good. All right. So, DJ Metro, which wireless microphone system would you record? I'm not sure I understand, DJ Metro. Like, when you say record, are you just asking which one do I use at my event, or I don't know, because I don't do any type of recording. I don't do any type of recording at all. I'm not in a booth or something like that anywhere. I'm not in a production studio or anything like that. Oh, you just sent the message. Okay, which wireless mic system would you recommend for a traveling DJ? Nothing too pricey, just to have. Audio Technica. It was the first one I had. If you don't want something that's too pricey, I would probably look at Audio Technica first. Great brand, great products. That's the first one that I had. Lasted me 9 years. Only reason I got rid of it is because it started to experience some drops, and I can't deal with that when I'm in front of all those people. Great question, though. The only time I get a lot of requests is when it's kids. That's why I refuse to do grammar school dances. Yeah, the kids were not that bad. I have to give it to that high school that I did. They were not that bad. They weren't like in your face and constantly all night. I feel like if you can just give them a good cluster of music, they're pretty much satisfied. For the most part, they were in there showing each other dresses, taking pictures, all that stuff. So they cared more about photos and stuff than they did about the music. Let's see. Grad party in May, and ages are from 15 to 60. No dancing, but wants a dancing vibe. Can you give me 5 examples of songs play? Because customers got me a little confused. So you have a grad party. I did one like this. The kids were graduating high school, and their parents and chaperones all stayed. So the music I played, I really went in and out. I really did some of the parents' music that fit in BPM wise with some of the kids' music. I'm trying to think, that was so long ago. I would really have to sit down and think about it. But I would make sure that I would hit something like if I had to give an example, like a raw bass for the parents, and then make sure that you're hitting something like not necessarily like Nelly or something like that, but you know, something right around that early 2000s range. I don't know, like maybe some Little John, somewhere around that, just something upbeat. And I just do that back and forth, jump in and out, jump in and out, jump in and out, and they loved it. And until the kids went to the front, then it was an all parents dance. So of course I knew all that music. Which wireless system would you recommend? Oh, I already answered that. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Digital Media Murado, do you wait until the end of your wedding season to blind us in new gear, or do you buy gear throughout the year? Depends on my needs. Digital Murado, depends on my needs. If it's something that I feel like I need for upcoming events, I'll go ahead and make the investment. If it's something that, you know, I'm not going to use in any upcoming events, I'll wait until the season has ended, see what I have, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be replaced, what I need to sell, and then I move on from there. Let's see. Do you use the V-Motor headphones, and how do you like them? Okay, Digital Media Murado. Yes, I do. I love them. They sound great. They really cancel out anything around me. I always have to take one cup off to be able to hear exactly what they're asking me and stuff. Like it cancels out. Like sometimes the music can be playing super loud, and if I have both ears on, I don't hear any of it. I mean, I hear nothing but the music that's just playing in my ear. Like, they're really good. I would definitely recommend them. I'll probably be adding my logo to the side of them as well, because I like the metallic that they have on it, and then they have a matte black plate that goes on it as well, and you can get your logo and stuff put on it. So I'll probably get a logo put on it. I think it'd be pretty cool. Good question. All right, other than QSC, what would you recommend using for tops and subs? Yeah, that's a good question, man. JBL, DJ Sergi, JBL. JBL is another fantastic company that makes great quality equipment. If you can afford JBL, not saying that you can't, but if that's not in your wheelhouse, I would say something along the lines of maybe like Mackie. Mackie is a little bit more cost efficient. I would try Mackie. Mackie would be your alternative. DJ Tyler, you may be late, but you are here, and that's all that matters. Appreciate you stopping through, bro. DJ Metro, I have a Sweet 16 this weekend. From your past experience, are these kids into TikTok dances and these events? Okay, so I'm glad you asked this, because I had a child who is, outside of any school that I was DJing in, and I asked him, I said, when you guys are at dances and stuff like that, do you guys want to hear those TikTok dances? She said no. Any TikTok song I played at the prom didn't go over well at all. I think that the TikTok music is just strictly for certain kids. I think that it's for TikTok, the app itself. I think going outside of that, trying to bring that to our platform, it doesn't go over well. It doesn't go over too well, at least in my experience. I mean, somebody else might experience different. It didn't go over well last year at the prom that I'm going to do at the end of this year. It's a repeat customer. It didn't go over well last year either. So I don't know if TikTok music is great for some of your DJ sets. I don't even see anybody doing any of the dances and stuff when I play it and stuff either. They just kind of It's kind of staying around. And that could be my area. Who knows? You could be in an area where it's more popular. I'm in, lonely old South Carolina. All right. DJ Sergi JBL is great. You could try the PRX 715, 815. Oh, okay. There's your answer. DJ Tyler, how was the prom you did? Yeah, it was a little rough, but we made it through. I will tell you guys that making sure that your plugs are taped down is a must. I did a great job of wire management, but I left the plug exposed. So everything the wire was taped down, but the plug itself that was joined with with an extension and stuff on it, it kept getting kicked and unplugged. So sometimes I was working with one speaker and I could hear it because it would be louder on one side and there's the other. So I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I thought I had blown the 44 G2s and that was going to be two things that had happened that night. But it was literally because the plug kept getting kicked. But for the most part, the prom went over well. I think they want to do round 3 and stuff next year. I think she already told me it's like April something. So hopefully we're able to do that. Hopefully. I use Yorkville subs and JBL is great too. All right, let's see which model subs. There's so many. All right, let your questions come through. We've probably got about a few more minutes here, about 10-15 minutes. Let those questions come through. Let me know if you have any questions that I can answer. Big doubleheader weekend this weekend. Cannot wait. 2 different styles of weddings. I love that. They're not going to let Book cook though. Well, tomorrow they are going to let Book cook, but Saturday Book can't cook. Book's I gotta go pretty much by the book. Not gonna lie to you. Any other questions that I can answer and stuff for you guys? How many of you guys actually use like a checklist that you have posted somewhere, or maybe even on your phone, of everything that you need for your event? And how many times have you guys left something small that was major to your setup? Like, even though those things that I left or that I forgot that was small, they were so major to my setup that there was nothing I could do. Like, something so small means so much when you're out there and you're 45 minutes away from your house. It just sucks. DJ Surge G, I just got the Rain 2 and the Pioneer S11. Man, I'm lost. I'm new to turntables. Okay, I know this is not a question, and you may be talking, to somebody else and stuff on here, or me, who knows? But I have that same setup, and let me tell you, it is a huge learning curve because I never had turntables and stuff as well. But one thing I will tell you is that there are a few DJs that you can watch on YouTube, or pay for. Jazzy Jeff has a program. DJ Liftoff has a great YouTube channel. I'm going to push him because he gives some great information. So definitely check out DJ Liftoff's channel, and he'll give you some information on how to start with your scratching, how to use it, how to use the turntables, everything like that, so that you're not overwhelmed. I'm trying to still do my scratch practice. I'm getting pretty good and stuff at it. And I want to incorporate some of that stuff into what I do at these weddings, but it's really night and day. I mean, it's night and day difference between having the DDJ 1000 and having the S11 and Rain 2 setup. All right, so let's see. Oh, you guys answered my questions. I would do a checklist on my phone. Yeah, I tried that. I just keep forgetting when I'm trying to figure out everything I need. I always I always forget something. Even though I do that, I still forget it because when I'm making the list, I'm still overlooking what I need to get. DJ Metro, I tried to use a checklist. I still forgot something small. I know the feeling. Yeah. And you know what? And the thing is, the thing that's always small, the thing that is always small is the most important thing. It's crazy. It's always the most important thing. That sucks about that. I absolutely hate it. I cannot stress that enough. All right. To give you your flowers, after seeing you use one speaker for ceremony, I decided to do it for my upcoming wedding to get out faster. I've always used two. Do you see any disadvantage with one? I do not see a disadvantage to using one. There's really no disadvantage. Like I say, the Maui 5 Go and stuff that I use, it covers up to 150 people. Now, where you start to kind of lose some of that is if the list is too long. And not list. If the crowd is too large. If you're doing a 300 person wedding, then you know the Maui 5 Go is not going to cover. You're going to need 2 speakers regardless. So I always ask in the Zoom meeting, how many people do you expect? If they go 200 plus, I'm using 2 speakers. You guys just never see me use it because I usually only do 200 or less. I used to work with my buddy and we got an event and noticed he left a photo booth at home 2 hours away. Oh my goodness. You gotta finish that story, digital media. You gotta let me know how, because I'm sure that they paid for that. So what'd you have to do? Give the money back and stuff for it? That's crazy. Don Austin, hey, Judy. Hey, Judy. DJ Tyler, or pick a bag, the most you could use, the most like a backup kick bag. Yeah, I mean, you could. I'm actually going to be switching over to SKB case, I think. To be able to put my wires and stuff in. I need to do that because the bag that I've been using, it's like a gray duffel bag. It's been fantastic, but my wires and stuff are just getting overwhelmed and stuff in there, and it's a pain in the butt to stuff all that stuff in there at the end of the night. So I'd rather have an SKB box that maybe I can, dump all those into. Of course, wrap them up because I have real bad OCD with that. I have to wrap them up. So that's what I'll probably be going to soon. Do you use XR splitters coming from your subwoofer? No, I do not. I run both lines into one line into the left, one line into the right on either side of the sub. But one thing I'm going to try, I'm going to get there early enough tomorrow to where I'm going to try that radio Bluetooth thing that, where you can hook up one side and it automatically hooks to the other. I'm going to try that, see what happens, play a couple songs, see what happens. If I don't get what I want out of it, then I'll just run the wires like I did before. It should be interesting on the 44 G2s. All right, just got 2 Wash Effects Hex 1 and Airstream DMX, but back ordered everywhere. Any idea for a substitute? People have used my DMX Go sound switch. I'm still asking. I've been asking Cleveland Terry. That's my buddy. That's my man. I'm asking him about sound switch because I really want to get his insight to it. Because guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's becoming more of a hassle for me to work my lights at the same time as trying to DJ, because I can't be in a groove and work the lights. I can't do that. And one thing about me is when I'm in a groove, I like to stay in that groove. I don't like to come out of that groove. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing on the board to make sure that I'm dropping in the right place, that I'm moving and switching songs in the right place, that the camera and stuff, I got to work the camera. So like I said, I'm going to teach somebody how to work lights or do something with lights, because I can't keep doing that. I can't. I need to stay in my groove, and that's just where it's going to be. But my DMX Go, Sound Switch are probably the two that I would recommend. I'm going to do some more research on Sound Switch. That'd probably be the way that I will go if I had to change out of the DMX bridge. And keep searching. Those things always pop up, especially I DJ now. Pro Sound, try Pro Sound website. Try American, not American. It's oh gosh, American Music Supply or something like that. Try those. I just got a magazine from Full Compass. They sell DJ stuff. Try all of those guys, man. All of those guys have websites and stuff that you can check out to see if they have any available. I print off multiple checklists and put them near everything I plan to take just so I don't forget, because that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'll actually just go ahead and put them in my book bags, my DJ book bags. Tip: put a pair of in-ear headphones in a separate bag. I need a headphone bag in case you forget the headphone. I never forget my headphones because they're in my DJ bag. They're in my DJ book bag. The Orbit bags. I did the other week for a house party. Brought the event table, speakers, and left my. Jesus, you left your controller. My wife had to drop. Bro, I feel your pain right here, bro. Kid Cupid, I feel your pain. And I know that's crazy. That's crazy. That sucks. All right. I hate bags. Box works better for XLR power. I agree. And that's why I want to switch over. We had someone meet us halfway and finally got it set up. However, later that night, a drunk guest pushed it over. Let me tell you something before I get out of here. If somebody pushes over my equipment while I'm working, is that camera? Focus on that camera. You best believe you're going to get a bill right after that. I'm going to find out how much it costs, and you're going to get the bill right away. I'm not playing, man. This equipment and stuff is expensive. You can't be knocking over my stuff, bro. No. My wife was like, come on, man. Sound switch is okay for or my DMX Go. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Now that you mention it, how is the Jetpack book bag? Not gonna lie, I've had it. I've had mine since I got my first one in 2019, summertime 2019, right before the expo. And it's been great. However, it is starting to wear and tear. So this is year 3, and it's got some bumps and bruises. It's got some threads and stuff coming unhinged and stuff like that. It may be because of how much I put in there. I use that thing, man. I use my bags. The second one I got in, I want to say at the beginning of 20, right before the shutdown. And it's holding up, much better than the first one. It's a different style, of course, but it's held up better than the first one. I hope no one forgets their USB to the external hard drive. I forgot mine last, but I keep all my hits on the laptop hard drive. I have had a problem with a USB. The USB that goes from the laptop to the back of the controller, I have had a problem with that where it was loose. And I had to squeeze down on the connection that goes into the laptop. That was the only way that I could get the thing to play, because it kept cutting off because it kept falling out. So I do have 2 of those. Ever since that gig, I do now carry 2 of those cords in my bag, ready to go. My DMX buddy is good too. How many regular show make? Okay. All right, coming down to the last couple of questions here. I'll answer about 2 more questions. Do you do expos, Jay? I didn't catch you in Vegas, Saw Bar, Cleveland, and Rick Webb. Yes, I do. I did in 2019, and I thought about it again this year. I may go ahead and do the Atlantic City Expo. I may go ahead and do that one this year, because it's usually right around my birthday. that happens right in August, so I may do that one. I would love to do the Vegas one as well. I think that's at the beginning of the year. Sometimes, that's the time I actually use to kind of travel because, I've had such a busy year. I don't get a chance to actually travel, so I use that time to travel and not really go to the expos. But yes, I've been to one expo, the DJ Expo in 2019 is the one I went to last. So I plan on probably trying to do something like that, hopefully again this year. Checklist, save the day, check in and out every gig, well worth the time and effort and not miss a thing. I agree. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys coming through. I appreciate you guys always stopping by. You guys are making, this thing a reality. This thing is growing. I really appreciate it. I like to come on here every week, Thursday, about the same time, just to kind of give you guys something to look forward to. If you follow me on Instagram, I usually post stuff about it, letting you know that it is coming up, as well as make sure that you hit the link down below in the description. Follow my Twisted Transitions page because I am going to be moving over to there at the end of this month, beginning of May. The show is going to be on there, and you definitely want to make sure that you're a part of that. Also, you can follow the Instagram page of Twisted Transitions on IG. I think it's linked down below as well. If not, it is linked on my Instagram page itself. So definitely check that out. I'm glad you guys stopped by. Have a great weekend of gigs. And we'll talk again next week and see exactly how everything went. Hope y'all's week goes well. Thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you next time, guys. Peace.